All right, guys, I'm back. No real intro needed. I just love doing these reaction videos on the fake alpha male exposed videos, and I figured I'll give this one a reaction. We got Johnny Bravo Films, fake alpha male caught lying about his entire life to scam millions. So as we know, the internet has thousands and thousands of grifters, people just faking their life for validation, trying to just sell us a dream, trying to sell you a course, trying to just sell you something, right? Sell you the lifestyle so you could then just give them your money. So let's check this out. Let's see what this fake ass dude is about to do.
Digging and see. And there's this penthouse that this Vincent is always bragging about. Every one of his videos is about this penthouse, right? In Miami on the top floor, right? I wanted to see, does he own it? Does he rent it? What's the story? Because he tries to make everybody believe that he owns this thing, right?
We beat the system. Now I keep $1 million in there. I get another $1 million. I buy a real estate
I
property.
think I've
for
seen
$4
that guy
million.
before.
King balling.
So there's a new asshole in town. This giraffe-looking piece of shit with pubic hair on his fucking head. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what's wrong with this asshole? But like all the others, he's from Miami. He drives around the same block on Brickell over and over and over with that pubic hair of his flying in the wind because he thinks people need to look at it. Nobody wants to see that shit. He even has a sharmuta by his side, right? From Russia. He says it's his Russian model from Instagram, right? But we all know he ordered that shit in the fucking mail.
He could,
You want to know
chat.
the real reason why I'm successful, bro? It's not because I'm extremely intelligent with a genius level IQ. It's not because I'm unusually tall, sexy.
It's because I'm scamming you guys.
It's because I'm delusionally optimistic.
And if you think about it, right, and if you look at him, if Peggy Watson and the 7-foot monster had a love child, that would be
This
this
kid's getting
asshole.
roasted.
Because this asshole, right, look at him coming out of the car looking like that tall giraffe he is. He is actually 7 foot tall with that pubic hair dangling around everywhere. But everyone's been wondering, is his life a lie? How is this 22-year-old kid a millionaire by selling programs to kids? I mean, look, we know how all these guys do it. They do everything for show. Their life is rented. Their life is a lie. So I wanted to take a little bit closer of a look into this asshole. And this is what I found.
W
You guys need to
detective.
understand that to some degree, life is materialistic, right? It's always broke people judging rich people. They're always like, oh, well, I don't need a penthouse. I live in a box. I don't need a hypercar. I have a Honda. You can't get a hypercar. And for that reason, you're hating, right? But to some degree, the results in your life reflect that you have the blueprint figured out, right? If I was
Whole time he just went in someone else's fucking GTA garage and started recording.
telling you guys all this shit, but I didn't have a penthouse. I didn't have a Russian model rubbing my shoulders. I don't have 4 million in cars. What's the validity to my statements? There is none.
So when I first saw this asshole, you guys remember
She
one of
not
the
even rubbing
greatest
his neck for
movies
real.
ever, Coming to America, right? I remember it as a kid. Remember that one asshole, the real asshole, Daryl, who was full of himself, looking at himself in the mirror, thinking he's the shit, pretending he's this good guy, but in actuality, he was a piece of shit asshole. Well, when I first saw Vincent Fisher and how he's acting with that hairdo of his, I was like,
Hairdo.
this guy Daryl must have been his idol.
Right? It's very hard to die or go broke if you look like money.
His hair always looks wet.
Might just seduce somebody, get a goddamn meal. You know what I'm saying? Might just go into Fry's, wink at the goddamn waitress. Hey, on the house.
I mean, look at the way he was looking at himself, right? Saying he's so handsome, saying he's so good looking, right? But then that Russian sharmuta of his, look how he treats her the same way as that asshole Daryl was trying to treat the girls.
Yes, where I'm from, we have to be very aggressive. I'm all for that. Especially with women.
If I was telling you guys all this shit, but I didn't have a penthouse, I didn't have a Russian model rubbing my shoulders, I don't have 4 million in cars.
Take charge. Tell them what to do.
Vincent Fisher, the best man.
I'm ready for the exposing part. He just going on this dude's look.
So let's go back a little. This asshole
on,
Vinny,
man.
he was 17 years old, right? He was a kid. He was skinny as hell, right? So he wanted to get bigger. And he admits here, I'm going to show you in a moment, that he took steroids because people are
Yeah,
wondering,
I
you
don't
see
know.
this guy on camera. You think he's
He's
35
small and then he get
years
big.
old.
I
There's
knew you
no
were gonna
way
say
this
steroids.
asshole is 22, right? Especially when you see how he was just a few years ago. Well, he was selling programs to kids on that transformation, but he didn't tell them, of course,
That he was on
taking
roids.
steroids.
Get scammed, mate.
So with that, so you say you were natty at first. Did you ever experimented or wanted to experiment with like any enhancements?
Yeah. Like after I moved to Miami and stuff like that, play around with stuff. I guess I'm not involved with all and stuff. Anyways, I got up to like 220 during that time. But what happened was I had health issues. And then on top of that, my psychological wasn't on point, where I'm like crashing out and I'm like started arguments. I wasn't being the stoic person I am. And then I kind of removed myself from that. That's another reason, I've never said this on camera, but that's why I stopped strictly selling fitness programs.
And I always say,
Shaking my
when
head.
you're a kid and you take shit like this, it's going to age you prematurely. It's going to make you look 10, 15 years, if not more, older than what you're supposed to be. So I always say, kids, just stay away from the shit. And you saw how he was saying he had health problems and he had to stop? Well, what happened? His business that he was teaching the kids this shit had to stop too, because he was gonna shrink up like a little bitch, and he knew nobody would buy the shit, right? So he had another bright idea, the same one as all the rest of these assholes. He's gonna sell people programs on how to coach people to be coaches. It's like a modern day pyramid scheme, right? Without having to go door to door like a little Sharmuta Mary Kay. You guys remember her? It's the same shit.
I coach coaches who coach coaches. Like that's what I do. But I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna say buy my course instead. I'm gonna say, listen, the numbers are there. Obviously, I'm good at what I do. People go, oh, well, you're a scammer. I mean, if I teach you how to go viral, and I teach you how to make money, and I happen to be viral and make money, that's living proof that I know to some degree what I'm talking about.
But in order for his plan to work, right, he has to show that he's making money. He's got the Sharmuta on his side.
All
He lives in a
rented, probably.
penthouse. He's got Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, all these cars, right? So he had to find a way.
That's obviously
to
a
get this
fucking
shit
public
in order
garage.
to sell these programs.
We're buying a $3.5 million hypercar at 22 years old. Now, I just sent the wire out this morning, so we're gonna run a few errands and go pick that up. But in the meantime, I don't know if I've ever shown the penthouse on the channel, but you guys can see here, this is the spot we got in. And boys, when I say penthouse, I don't mean 40th floor. When I say penthouse, I mean it's 2 stories, and there's absolutely nothing above us if you guys take a look outside. Yes, sir.
So I wanted to do a little digging and see. And there's this penthouse that this Vincent is always bragging about. Every one of his
That's
videos is about
nice.
this penthouse, right? In Miami on the top floor, right? I wanted
He
to
gonna
see,
find the real owner.
does he own it? Does he rent it? What's the story? Because he tries to make everybody believe that he owns this thing, right?
We fucking beat the system. Now I keep $1 million in there, I get another $1 million, I buy a real estate property for $4 million. We're fucking balling.
Fuck, I wake up in my 2-story penthouse and decide which $500,000 car to drive. No, I have no boss. Nobody tells me what to do. And I'm like, fuck.
So I went and I got the address for the place and I looked it up and I found an old Zillow listing, right? But something was
Oh,
very
he
interesting
cooked,
in
chat.
the Zillow listing. If you guys take a look here at all these pictures, notice something.
Oh,
Look
this
at the
nigga
decorations, look at the furniture, look at everything. It's the exact same setup,
He
right,
could.
that this asshole's using when he's filming his videos, but this listing is years
He
old.
don't live
so what's the
there.
story of it? So I took
He
it even
rented.
further. I went to the tax website on the address of the house, and lo
Nigga
and
go fuck around,
behold,
rent the same house and
he's
be in
not
it.
the owner of it, right? I went and looked up the MLS, and it says that it was rented last October,
Oh,
right?
he
And if you look
cooked.
here, I'm going to show his posting on Instagram. The day he moved in, he was posting it and flaunting it on Instagram like he owns it. Now, this is the
Damn.
thing. I can't see the name of who actually rented it. For all we know, it's rented out for movie shoots, photo shoots, pictures, because I spoke to the neighbors there. And they said they only see him there once in a while. So what's the real story? We don't know. But we do know that the asshole's renting the place. So that got me thinking. I'm like, if he's renting this place pretending he's owning it, right? What about that Russian Sharmuta
other
over
shit.
there? Who says he didn't order that shit in the mail? What about all those cars he drives, right? The cars he drives are from that same shady place other influencers get their cars from. Remember Wes when he was in the car arguing about not having a title and registration? That was bought from this same place. But I mean, a kid, 22 years old, you know, driving around now, he's saying a $3.5 million car, getting it from that same shady place. So I knew some shady shit is going on, and that got me thinking, all right? This kid still has to have money in order to pull this shit off, right? I remember when he spoke about something, he said, you know, I knew in life that I was going to be successful, whether it was going to be being a criminal or not being a criminal, but he was going to find a way.
Like, the thing is, I was either going to end up ridiculously rich with the right thing or ridiculously rich a criminal. Just because that's how my mind works.
He also
Damn,
was
he just
saying
told us he's down to
how
scam
much
your ass.
he loves debt, right? And how he found creative ways to get money and use money to purchase things that wasn't his own.
I love debt, and I think that's why America is the place that people move to go 0 to 100, because you have access to other people's money. There's nowhere else in the world where you have as easy access to other people's money as the U.S. The U.S. is trillions in debt already.
Yeah.
I'd always go over using other people's money over my own. Even when I'm at the highest branches of U.S. banks, right? When I'm at, you know, the banks and they deal with bigger amounts of money that's moving through accounts, you're talking to a different staff. But, you know, I'll speak to these people and they'll say the same thing. They'll go, Vince, none of the wealthy families we work with use their own money. A lot of them use like life insurance policies to not use their own money.
Yep.
A lot of them will just take out loans and stuff to not use their own money. But as a rule of thumb, why would you use your own money when you could use somebody else's?
So when I put all these things together, right, I was thinking, that's what he's doing. He is doing creative things, crooked things, to put this show on for everyone in order to sell all these programs to kids.
You know, my target audience is people my age. So like the oldest, you know, there's a few outliers in a group of guys that are a little bit older, but as a rule of thumb in general, my guys are in their early 20s, same age as me. Oh, wow. Some guys are 2 years older, but it's kind of like the same exact thing.
And something else I noticed too, you know how he was saying criminal shit? Look what he says here. Remember how I told you, you know, people were fucking with my channel? I didn't mention names, you know,
And
but we
this man
all
did
know
his
who
research.
it was, right? Well, what's funny is the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree with all these guys. They must be all connected together because we all know they think the same way. Because look what this asshole admits that he would do to someone.
But I'm in the world of business, right? To some degree, I'm in the education game on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So if somebody were making serious, false, defamatory threats against me, if that's even a word, a split second of my mind goes, and how much would it cost to delete this person? Not kill them. Like, how much would it cost to just take their channel down? Yeah, 2,000. All right, let's do that. I'm not saying that I've done anything like that, but it's crossed my mind. And I think if I'm in the game of just making a few million, right, and there's people that make trillions, you know, do they not think the same thing a little bit? Do they not think, oh, Scuff, oh, maybe he had an eye on him, he's got set in it, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just giving an idea. Like, I'm just taking it into account.
So like I said earlier, in order for this asshole's plan to work, he has to sell this stream. He has to sell this lifestyle to kids who are easily manipulated. I mean, that shit's not going to work on people who are experiencing life, but think about his target audience and think about them seeing the Russian Sharmuta, the penthouse, the cars.
Sharmuta.
They don't want this shit. So what do? They buy his program. In the end,
That money
think
probably
about it,
fake
right?
too.
If enough of these assholes
You know.
buy it, he's going to end up making money. But to me, he's always just going to be that giraffe-looking pubic hair piece of shit.
So the problem with most men is they're unsuccessful in thinking they have the world figured out to the T. I speak to so many men, I'm like, bro, you need to tweak this, you need to do that. They're like, Vince, yeah, but you don't understand, bro, how my mind works. How your mind works does not work. And that's why you don't have results. So you need to drop your ego and
Bro,
switch
she's
your
not even
mind.
rubbing him.
Learn from
She's
somebody
literally
that
just
has
going
the
like
results
this.
you want in life. and
Like,
learn out of
what?
it.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like on my video.
All right. Well, guys, that's the end of the video. I don't think I've ever seen that guy before. I mean, I don't really have much to say. I guess he's obviously faking his lifestyle. He got exposed with the house thing. So, I mean, that's it, guys. Peace. Like, comment, subscribe, though.